It is the Riot Podcast. Hi.
Happy Monday or whatever day. Again, I should not put a day on somebody.
You're so judgmental, Nikki.
Whatever day you're listening to this, but for us, Monday, hopefully everybody had a great weekend. Another yawn.
Don't call it out. You know,
that was the gentlest yawn I've ever seen you do.
You know, Nikki, I'm gentle. A lot of people don't think I am.
I've never seen you do that.
But the reality of it is that this is all just a front. You know, they say that the world's greatest cynics are actually true believers that have just been hurt
so much.
Mm-hmm.
Your yawn was so gentle. Like, I'm more worried about you with that than like your big ones when you're like, I'm passing out.
You guys really should be around
scared
for some of my yawns and stretches. They're powerful. What's funny is, like, Nikki is so calm, and every day she just shows up, does her job, no problem. I'm always in here, like, screaming and yelling and, like, I'm going to pass out.
You're more vocal when you should be worried about the quieter one.
You know what, though? I show up every day still.
You do.
Come on.
Do. It's fine.
That's something, right? Hey, today in the podcast, what kind of stuff we be talking about today? Let's pull up the list because I don't remember. Let's see. Oh, gosh. We talk about some Valentine's Day stuff.
We do. That's coming up.
We get some kind of a revelation about some dog biscuit things.
Not a revelation.
I'm calling it a revelation.
It's not. And please text if you, when you hear it, are like, yeah, that's totally what you did when you were a kid at a party.
Yeah, I'd be eating dog biscuits all the time. What?
In the bigger picture of things that could have been done, you know, it's not that bad.
Well, there's something to what you're saying. Sure.
Yes.
So there's a town that's been overrun by polar bears.
Which is where I'm going for spring break.
Yeah, we talk about Obadiah's favorite Nikki birthday memory. I saw Aquaman. I'm going to explain it to you.
He gives his 2 months later.
2 months later. Well, 6 weeks.
6-week review
6 weeks later. Obadiah finally. But I am all caught up now.
I feel like that could be a thing. Like if you did 2 months after every big release.
Obadiah's 6-week review.
Yeah, almost in time for it to come out in digital.
Actually, it does come out in digital. I think
it'd be
in
maybe
2 weeks,
maybe?
a week, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like it's very soon. Very soon coming to digital. You're right about that. We talk about sleep, orange vanilla Coke, time boxing, and there's more. So we hope you guys enjoy the podcast. Remember, keep up with us at riot.radiou.com. You'll find links to our Facebook page. You'll also find links to us on Twitter and Instagram. You can see a picture of my R2D2 French press.
Which I told him it looks like it has bananas on its feet.
It totally does in this picture.
With little eyeballs above it.
I wasn't sure. I mean, I knew what she was talking about, but when you look at the picture, it's like, yep. For real.
I didn't know if you stuck stickers on it or if that was like in order to wrap the cable around it, you got to have like the little sticky things.
Those are decorative.
They're decorative.
Which
decorative
in fairness,
bananas.
The whole thing is decorative. That French press is one of my favorite things. I love it.
See that at Obadiah, RadioU, or RadioU Nikki.
Yeah. So, hey, have a great whatever day it is, because far be it from us to tell you what day it is. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Wish the worst of the riot would never end?
Everything that has a beginning has an end.
What is wrong with you? Get our daily podcast through iTunes, Google Play, or the RadioU app.
Welcome back from the weekend. Woo!
Glad to be free of that.
Yeah, no, I get a little tired of all the,
free
freedom.
time and the fun. It's just so boring.
It's certainly overrated. I mean, I don't think anybody would argue with that. How was your weekend?
It was pretty good.
Yeah? Did you do anything? I saw that you had a birthday party for your dog.
On Friday, we celebrated my dog, Rollo, his second birthday. So.
And how excited was he?
He was very excited. He still has one cupcake left. I got an assortment for him for his birthday party, but I didn't want him to get sick. So.
And is he just excited every day, or could he tell that it was a special day?
No, in fact, he probably thought it was a worse day because I put a little birthday hat on him. So to him, he didn't understand.
The picture was nice.
Yeah, it was cute.
Because, at the end of the day, don't you just have pets so you can get more likes on Instagram?
Probably not, but, that's not the full reason. But while they're there, you might as well utilize them.
Sure. In reality, if you really want to win at Instagram and you're like, hey, I'm not going to put fillers in my lips or take booty shots.
And pets are all you got.
Like pets, kids, I mean, that's your next best way to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he said thank you. So
Yeah. Yeah. And
but it was cute.
did you also have some, like, did you get some cake for yourself?
No, it's just doggy stuff.
Can you eat doggy stuff?
You know, I'm sure you can. Like, I got him a cupcake, and then I got him a little happy birthday bone that had, like, icing on it.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, to first glance, it looks like it should be fine. It just might not be as, like, sugar tasting.
Sure.
Which means it probably tastes pretty bad, but
I don't know.
It looked like icing.
Come on, someone's done this, right?
Well, everybody's eaten a dog biscuit. Most people as a dare.
Okay. Wait. I just...
You've never taken a bite out of a dog biscuit at like a party?
No.
You never have? I thought everybody did. That's a very common dare.
Apparently, you went to the dog people parties, and I went to the non-dog people parties.
Even your allergy will keep you from that?
Very casual dismissal of like, well, sure, everybody's had a dog biscuit.
That was like the number one thing you did when you were at a party when you were younger, like very young.
The number one thing?
Yeah, you're like,
that was the big one?
That was the big one. There's nothing else to do. So then they're like, I dare you to that, and then taking everything in the fridge and like mixing it up together.
Okay, that, yeah.
You have a memory of that one?
But like the dog biscuit? No. You know what, Nikki? I'm glad
we partied in different ways.
I'm seriously glad we had this conversation. I'm seriously glad.
So it's been quite a few years, and then you would just take a little tiny little bite off the end. But I'm not sure, like for the birthday stuff, it looked good, but didn't try it.
You know what? I think you did.
On Friday?
Yeah.
I swear I did not.
I think you're a little embarrassed now. I think in reality, I think that you and your dog, you're like, oh, you won't mind if mommy takes a little shave off the side.
Halvesies.
You wouldn't even have this if it wasn't for me.
So give me my piece first.
Come on.
No, I did not do that. But still worried, still wondering.
I want to know if anybody's eaten dog cake. Aaron says, Aaron just texted and said, I grew up with a dog, never ate a dog biscuit.
Well, Aaron, you weren't at the right parties.
Man, Aaron, you didn't even know how to party.
I can't be the only one who did that as a dare when younger. I can't be.
There are two types of people in this world, and neither one of them likes the Riot. You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
So I want to say hi to Kyle. Kyle says he won a $5 bet by eating a dog treat from the vet.
Aw, easy money.
So the thing I want to know is, like, does that mean, like, did you win the $5 from the vet?
No,
or
I don't
did you
think
just
so.
got the dog treat at the vet, and then it was like, hey, $5 if you'll eat that?
That must be it, because I can't see a vet getting in on that. Like,
I see me either.
Legally.
Like, there seems like liability issues that might be there. Like something about that doesn't feel like it would totally work.
But if you got, because they always have the free, well, again, I assume you know this, but you don't have a pet. When you go to the vet, they always have like a little sample things of dog treats, so you can grab them when you're there.
Yeah, I don't have any pets because I don't promote slavery. So I just don't believe in the subjugation of things.
That's not it at all. You have wicked allergies.
If you
really bad ones.
If you say so, like something that I tell it what to do, it has to obey me or I don't feed it, like things like that. I believe all animals should exist in the wild where they belong.
Oh, and then you got Aaron's text too.
Let's see. Aaron says, I grew up with a dog, never ate a dog biscuit. Or is this other Aaron?
Other Aaron.
Defending Nikki here, that is a thing. Though I never partook in the action, that is a common thing. And that is everybody getting together and eating a dog biscuit.
No, it's part of a dare when you were younger at a party to eat a bite of a dog biscuit. It's not like the whole party's doing it.
Some people are like, hey, blood brothers, and then other people are like dog biscuit sisters.
Yes.
Like fist bump.
Well, Aaron, thank you for texting. And other Aaron as well. Thank you for texting, too.
Our friendship is sealed in dog biscuit.
You can text us if you'd like and include your name, 877-2-RADIO-U, anytime you want.
Mm-hmm. So, can I just say that, like, well, you know what? We'll get into it later. It's fine. If you guys are short on, I find sometimes, like, on a Monday, I haven't maybe made breakfast plans the way I should. You just reach into the milk bone box, you grab a couple.
Power bars? You mean power biscuits?
It's the same.
It's probably better.
We thought about selling the worst of the Riot, but let's be honest, no one is buying this stuff. Get it for free on the RadioU app.
Now, Valentine's Day is not a happy day for everybody, okay? Like, you're excited, but not everybody shares your joy about the Valentine's Day.
So maybe just read the room and make sure you're not being too much.
Yeah. So the new hotness is for zoos to try to raise money out of you for Valentine's Day. Like right here. Okay, technically, it's not a zoo. It's like a sanctuary. Wildlife Images. What they're doing is, in exchange for a $20 donation, your ex's name, your ex-girlfriend, boyfriend, person, dog, biscuit, whatever, will be put on a salmon and then fed to a bear.
A bear? Oh, there was one with, like, was it a cockroach?
It was cockroaches.
And fed to something else. That was a zoo.
Mm-hmm. So
basically, they'd put the name on something they're already feeding the creature, and that's the Valentine's thing.
If you pay this $20 to have this salmon fed to a bear, you will receive a special certificate and a photo of Cody or Yak, which are the name of the bears, quote unquote, destroying your ex.
Would you spend $20 on like salmon for you? So then you have to, put in perspective when the bear comes in your budget.
Well, I've had salmon a few times. The last 2 times I had salmon, I was so unbelievably sick that I pretty much haven't had salmon since then.
Well, you wouldn't technically have to be eating it this time.
So, I mean, no, I wouldn't spend that money on salmon for me. But, Nikki, it's for a good cause. It's for the kids.
It's for the bears.
It's for the bears.
It's for the big bears.
It's for the bears. They got to have a little salmon to eat. So, really, I'm just helping them out. And it's a great cathartic way for me. I thought about feeding my ex to a bear, and that's not okay, apparently.
You're not allowed to do that.
This way I just feed it a salmon. And
it depends on how, fresh the hurt is, because, you try to just move on from the relationship. And I feel like that's bringing it back up if you're going to pay to have their name on a piece of, meat just torn apart.
So, I just feel like, and again, I know it's all for fun. I know it is.
It's just for kicks and giggles.
I'd rather take that $20 and spend it on me.
That's really how you get them back at the relationship? They wouldn't know, though, but...
I mean, living well, they say, is the best revenge.
Yes, it is.
And so it's just one of those things where I think I'd take that $20 and, I know a guy.
Like, if you like salmon, you'd be like a lovely salmon dinner. Not for the bear, but for you.
Salmon for one.
Couple of friends, bring them on in and have a good time.
Hey, guys, you know what? Salmon might be a little pricey, but I spent this $20 on hamburger and buns.
Yes.
And we're going to have a big get-together.
So, depends, though. If you have extra cash, if you have an extra $20 and you want to support the Bears.
Hey, the Bears need your support, okay? Bears need support because they're incapable of feeding themselves.
I would like the bear to come up and be like, did no one buy me salmon today?
Hello?
I mean, come on. Get back on Facebook and give me some $20.
February 15th is a hard day for the Bears.
The Riot with Obadiah.
Them honey buns and Cheetos done caught up with me.
The Riot with Nikki.
Yeah, she's a liar, because I don't know her. So whatever she says is a lie. So
The Riot, RadioU.
So Stranger Things happens this summer, right?
What is the date for the next season?
Isn't it 4th of July?
4th of July, and it's
Or
season
July
3,
3rd,
right? When years pass, and it's like it just doesn't come up as often, you tend to forget. It's season 3.
It is season 3.
Season 3, okay.
And I'm fairly certain it's either July 4th or
that weekend,
like July 3rd. It's something like that, right? So, this Valentine's Day, if you find yourself needing to snuggle up next to a dad bod, they say the best dad bod in the business belongs to Chief Hopper.
They do.
Of Stranger Things, Nikki. Now, his book isn't going to be out yet, but I will tell you that he's going to have a book. This is going to be
like a health book, or
it's a health book. How to dad bod and you, Chief Hopper.
It's a great idea. I would love to be in the meeting like, hey, we got an idea for you. Come on in.
So I don't know if you saw the first season, but I get this dad bod by drinking a lot of beer and smoking first thing in the morning.
Don't spoil it if that's what the book's about.
It's a pamphlet. It's an ebook.
They fill that out thing a lot.
Mm-hmm. So apparently, a couple of days ago, a Stranger Things book did come out called Suspicious Minds, but this next one is going to be focused on the adventures of Chief Hopper.
And his dad bod, or is that a joke?
I'm just throwing that in.
You're just throwing that in there?
Yeah. Darkness on the Edge of Town. That's going to be the name of it. Ooh, and it's going to be supposedly a like an in-canon Chief Hopper adventure. So, it's not just some side thing. Like, it's legit.
Well, that could help fill the time. It is 4th of July when the next season comes out. So we have time. You could read a book.
Suspicious Minds, which is the one that just came out, that takes place in the summer of 1969. It tells the tale of how Eleven's mother got involved with the government project. So, if you want to know a little prequel action.
That could be something.
There you go. Because I've always wondered how Eleven's mom got involved with the government. I've never wondered it.
Now you feel like you're supposed to.
I've never wondered.
I feel to the jumping in the rabbit hole of like for movies and TV shows that have books that go with it.
Yeah.
That's a whole world right there.
Oh, no. Huge.
And I don't know if I realize how deep that goes.
I will tell you right now, like the Star ones, Star Trek, Star Wars, like that's...
Stargate, they all have books.
They do. Like, you're talking about publishing empires, Nikki. Like, it's not... That is no small thing right there.
There must be a lot of money in it.
Oh, dude. Huge amounts of money. Books! Who knew?
Starting your day with the worst of the riot is a great idea because it's guaranteed to get better from here. It's The Riot on RadioU.
I don't know if you guys saw it, but there is a trailer out there now for the brand new Aladdin live-action film.
It comes out in May.
That's going to be happening May 20... Wait, May 23rd? Sure
Maybe.
It is.
Let's go with that.
This says May 24th.
Let's go with May 24th
then. But you know, Nikki, there's going to be showings the evening of the 23rd.
So we're both right.
So that's exactly right. That is exactly right. So this teaser trailer that everyone be talking about is because it is the first teaser trailer to feature any footage at all with Will Smith as the genie.
Well, the first teaser trailer, people got mad, or I think it was the shots, like there was, some sort of, is there still things, magazines? Like there was, sorry.
They exist.
They still exist, but there was some sort of magazine / website that had like an early sneak peek, and people were wondering, was the genie still going to be blue? And that became like a hot topic. And in this trailer, you see he is, in fact, a blue genie.
He is blue.
Now, that's not the only problem. That's not a problem, per se, but there's something wrong with this movie.
It looks
off. And I don't know how else to explain it, but it's like too bright in some instances, and it's just weird.
It looks, that it's not cheap. But it looks really cheap.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It just like the shots, at least that are in the teaser trailer, I mean, it looks like you've got a friend who's really, really good. He was really good. And this is like their senior art project. Something about it.
Again, the only thing I can explain is it seems bright. So if they would have slapped on, more filters, just something seems not as big budget.
And this sounds ridiculous, but stare at Will Smith's face as the genie and watch like the way the genie's body is moving and his face. It's not right. It looks like somebody slapped it on in a hurry. Like just look at it, you're like, what? That's not.
But maybe we're overanalyzing, and maybe other trailers in the future will look better.
Well, okay, I understand what you're saying, but keep in mind that we are a visually sophisticated audience. And I don't mean you and I mean all of us. We've been staring at computer effects for what, 15, 20 years, however long you've been alive watching movies. So, if you sit down to watch a movie, you shouldn't be having conversations like this.
Like it looks cheap.
Right. But you should sit down and watch a movie, and you should be so drawn into the experience that it is difficult for you to step back and analyze what's on screen. A well-made movie does not invite you to think about it as a movie. It draws you so into its story that you forget that you're watching a movie. This instantly was like,
something's wrong. Something's wrong.
So
we'll find out. I guess we'll just wait. But I don't, as of right now, I don't have plans on seeing it in theaters. I can wait till that comes out on the Disney Plus thing. I can wait that one out.
I haven't watched any of the Disney live action stuff. I didn't watch
didn't see
Cinderella.
Cinderella?
I didn't watch Beauty and the Beast.
Cinderella looked good. Beauty and the Beast was just odd because I felt like the Beast just doesn't translate well.
Do you feel like it was off in the same way that this looks off?
No, I don't feel like that. Well, he looked just off. He did, but the rest of the movie, it didn't seem the same way.
What about like Lumiere and Cogsworth? Did they seem off?
No, it was mostly just the Beast. And perhaps other people in more profile characters, I felt, did not give an amazing performance. So,
well, you know what? Maybe it is, Nikki, that we're all just we have studied Will Smith so much that we, like, in seeing him like this, we're like, that's not my Will Smith.
No, it's not just Will Smith. The rest of the other shots, too, I feel like something just seems off.
Nikki's telling you the truth.
There are pros and cons to everything in life, except for the Riot. Here, it's no pros and all. It's the Riot on RadioU.
Speaking of places where, it's pretty cold, have you guys heard the ones about Novaya Zemlya?
Because I'm traveling there.
Dude.
If I need to go to any place this spring break, that's it.
Well, we actually talked about them, I want to say, towards the end of last year. It's this place in Russia that is north of the Arctic Circle, I believe. And it's an archipelago. You can Google that later.
That's your homework for today?
It's a Russian settlement up there, which they say that since December, they've had 52 distinct polar bears that have begun visiting the town, and they're becoming more aggressive.
The biggest issue is they're protected, so you're not allowed to, like, really do anything to them. You can't just, it made its way into the building, shoot it. You can't do that.
Right.
So they're saying it's the town is overrun to where you can barely go out. Like, there was video last year of a polar bear chasing a guy through the street, and you were like, what is this? And he hops over a fence. That was that location.
Well, I can tell you this right now. I don't care how protected it is. If it's between me and that polar bear,
the polar bear is going to get it.
The polar bear gets it.
No, I think you're not allowed to. You could get in serious trouble.
I'm sure that's true. But, like, if they're trying to be, like, killing you, surely
you're not. So you're supposed to just shoot around it.
Yeah, shoot
to scare it.
Well, they say that the polar bears are becoming unafraid.
Yes.
So at first they were able to chase them off using dogs and some other things. And now the polar bears are just like, nice dog.
They know they're not going to actually shoot them. And so they've not been effective anymore. They feel secure enough and they don't react when someone's going after them.
That just goes to show you, Nikki, that you've got to be willing to follow through on your threats, okay? You can make threats all day long, but if you don't have the follow through, you've got to follow through. It's like your golf swing or something. Like, you got to go all the way with that thing.
And you're like, what's such a big deal about it? They're literally in the town. So they're just walking around. They're walking in apartment buildings and businesses and playgrounds. So, like, if you walk to school, I mean, it's freezing and snow there, but, like, that's what they do.
Here's what I wonder, and I don't really see it, but, like, do people in this town, like, do they have cars? Can you drive to school?
I think so, but...
like, the way this polar bear is hanging out at the elementary school playground...
I don't think they're outside playing.
I mean, I don't know. I would just be like, all right, Mom, look, okay? Either you get me a ride to the door or I'm out.
You have to just run in.
I'm not going, okay?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if you just watch video of this town, you're just walking and then there's a polar bear.
Oh, especially me in elementary school. Like, here's this fat kid, fat and juicy kid. He's plump, he's perspiring, so he's nice and warm, and he's got a good sheen on him.
Dude, they'd smell you a mile away. They'd be like, who is this guy?
They're like,
we can wait him out.
Oh, look at him running away. Hilarious. He's never run in his life.
So for me, I love polar bears, man. I'd be like, hey, guys. I'd be outside.
Get inside.
Like, no, they're outside with me. But that is dangerous. Very dangerous.
Incredibly. Well, you know the old saying. They say that if it's a brown bear, you can tuck and roll. If it's a black bear, it's something else. But if it's a white bear, you're already dead.
You're dead.
You're already dead.
But what if it's a small one? A baby bear? A baby polar bear?
Yeah.
Do you know, because I always wanted to go on those.
Here we go. Did anybody hear the change in tone? I heard it. Okay, here we go.
No, but I've always wanted to go on those polar bear tundra trips.
Yeah.
And they're thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars.
You've got a credit card.
You can't even be guaranteed that you're going to see a bear. I go here.
Done.
Cheaper.
Probably.
I know they're there.
You know what? You just rent one of those bear-proof expedition vehicles.
I just get a RAV4 or something. Yeah. It'd be fine.
You'll be fine.
You just get the mid-sized to compact car from the rental thing.
All-wheel drive.
Yes.
I'm sure I'll be fine.
I didn't save money on the polar bear trip. I actually get to see polar bears.
Fantastic.
And I have the trip of a lifetime.
And you have spent the last 10 years studying Russian, so you're completely prepared for this trip.
I am. Yes.
Yeah.
I'll just do wonderfully.
No,
wonderfully well.
Bro. Got this.
You could be learning jujitsu right now, or how to drive a race car, or do anything productive with your life, but no. You're listening to the worst of the Riot on RadioU.
You know what I did this weekend?
What'd you do?
I saw Aquaman.
You did?
I did.
You're all I think now officially all caught up on movies.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get to see Creed 2, which after having finally seen Creed, I really would like to see Creed 2, but it's too late now.
And then I think you still should see, what's the night one or the
The Kid Who Would Be King?
That one, yeah. That one might be a fun theater movie.
That's still out, so there's still time on that, though it's tanking so badly.
It might not be too long.
It'll probably be hard for me to get a chance to see it. Guys, here's the thing about Aquaman. What? What were we all collectively smoking that we were like, it's so good?
No one said that. I don't feel like anybody said that. But if you put yourself back in middle of December when it came out, and, it wasn't exactly Christmas yet, and it was tough times.
You're just out there.
And then it was nice to have a big budget movie.
It was a weird movie, Nikki.
Was it? I haven't seen it yet.
It reminded me. I tweeted about it. It reminded me of The Meg. Because not because of underwater. I get that. It's not that. But I mean,
well, of course it would, Obi.
But the reason I say that is this: if you guys watch The Meg, the big shark movie from the summer,
Jason Statham,
that is a movie that is very clearly made trying to straddle the line between American audiences and international audiences. And as a result, you end up with some really weird edits at times, places where they hang a little bit longer on a shot than they normally would, or there's some dialogue that feels oddly stilted. And the other thing is that in The Meg, Jason Statham is supposed to, at some point, there's this other character that he's supposed to be starting a relationship with, and it's awkward in this weirdly junior high-like way. No chemistry, no whatever. But by the end of the movie, despite the fact that they've spoken approximately 5 lines to each other, they're obviously now getting married.
Well, yeah.
It feels like it's written by people that have never had a relationship in their entire life.
Well, in different markets, though, they're not allowed to show relationships in the same way. They can't get too into it.
That is exactly what the relationship between Aquaman and Mera feels like in that movie. There's no chemistry, odd editing, bad dialogue, but obviously they're together.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what?
Well, if you look at
are you serious?
If you look at Aquaman's numbers, I mean, it's predominantly international money.
It feels like a movie that was made by the Chinese for an American market. Another movie that would be a great one to look at, it's called Wolf Warrior 2. It was the biggest movie in China in 2016 or 2017. I watched it last fall or something like that. It reminds you of somebody who sat down and watched a mid-90s action movie and was like, we can make that. Mm-hmm. And then they make it. But it was, at least as an American watching it, it was like, this is not actually very good. And that's what Aquaman felt like to me. It felt like an international film. And let's be clear, I love Asian action cinema. Maybe it's not fair to say a lot, but I watch a fair amount of Asian films, Japan, Korea, China, their action fare, and I like them. But they have a very particular feeling. And what's weird is when you see them trying to take these hybrid movies where it's kind of an American movie, but it's kind of an Asian film, and it makes you feel like it just doesn't work. And that was what I was just watching it like. oh gosh, you would have been better off going all the way this way or all the way that way.
Mm-hmm.
But this like in between thing
throws you for a loop. If like that's something that you're sensitive to or notice. For some, you just sit there and watch it.
I know. I'm sorry.
You sorry you had to bring that up.
I'm sorry that I mentioned it. I give Jason Momoa credit. He's really working hard at it.
Good.
Like he is. But I mean, I don't think that still made for like a very good movie.
Well, it was a good starting off, and maybe the second one will be better.
I'm not. Oh, there's definitely going to be a second one. They're even talking about spinoffs now. I don't want to see it again. Like that was enough. And I was really trying to like it.
Sure.
And I didn't hate it. I just didn't like it. So
well, again, now you're finally caught up with all your December movies.
I'm caught
now
up.
that it's February, you're seeing everything from December.
I talked to somebody yesterday that still had their tree up.
Oh,
so you know what?
Really?
Yep.
Oh,
not me.
That's
not me.
You promise?
So some people still have their Christmas tree up. I'm still catching up on my December movies. I'm getting there.
The Riot has a problem with authority.
It's a little rule. Maybe you're not familiar with it. Nobody tells me what to do, ever.
Nikki, your birthday is a week from today or a week from tomorrow?
I think a week from tomorrow.
Is it the 18th or the 19th?
19th.
It's the 19th. Okay. And then Nick's birthday is
His is the 18th.
Oh, gosh.
I think that's the case,
And then
if
Michael's
I
is
remember.
the 25th.
His is the week after, yes.
Have you talked to Nick about your birthday
No,
lunches?
is he want to do a birthday lunch? I'm assuming?
Well, of course he does.
Well, okay.
I mean, you know, he's an adult who gets,
He eats lunch.
He eats lunches. So
fine.
maybe, well, I mean, do we do his birthday lunch this week?
I don't know.
I'll have to talk to him
You have
about
to figure
it.
out, maybe you want to do
Actually,
it Friday.
you know what? I think if you want to know the truth, I'd like to see the two of you work it out.
Oh, we're better now. We just had problems in the past. We're fine. Everything's fine.
It's still, I want you to know, like, I'm on my deathbed and they're like, hey, top 5 moments in your whole life. And I'll tell you what, one of my top 5, and I won't know where it'll rank, but you're like, well, your wedding day, the birth of your children.
These big moments.
Like, whatever. Everybody always has these things on these lists. And I'm going to be like, the time that Nick told Nikki when she could have her birthday lunch.
It didn't go over as well, and yeah, there's more to the story. His birthday, I think, was on a Sunday, and mine was on that Monday, and so wanted to know if I could move mine to Tuesday so he could have his on Monday. But that Monday was actually my real birthday, and it just didn't work out. We had just some miscommunication.
I believe Nikki's response was something like, I'm not even having a birthday lunch now.
And that is the most mature thing that someone can do. You immediately go to, I'm not having my lunch.
I'm not even having one.
That is just human nature to do that. You're like, fine. I think I told him he could have his birthday lunch, and I wanted nothing to do with it.
Oh, the best.
Oh, yeah, memories, right?
It was the best. I remember where I was standing, and I remember Nick. I remember Nick doing that, and I remember just thinking like, oh no.
Should be fine.
Oh, yeah, I feel great about it.
So his birthday, though, is Monday, and mine is Tuesday next week.
Okay. All right. So could we do his lunch on Tuesday and then...
Don't bring up that. It still hurts. Don't bring that up.
It's the best.
It wasn't when it was happening to you.
Oh, and what would you like to relive? Your first kiss? No. I want to be back in that moment, please. Can we set up a camera? I want to capture it.
Capture the moment, the
I
faces.
want everyone to feel it with me.
My favorite part of the worst of the riot, when they shut up and the music starts. It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
How much sleep are you getting every night?
Do we need, or what are we getting?
How much are you getting? What do you think?
Well, when you say the number, it's sad. I get probably 4 or 5 hours.
That's all?
Not during the week, yes.
How do you manage that?
I don't, but, you just put a smile on your face.
Do you take a little nap?
Sometimes on the weekends. So weekends I can stay up later, but sometimes I'll take a nap during the day.
Has it ever occurred to you to maybe just get more sleep?
It has, but that just doesn't always happen.
You're just not going to do it?
Well, can I do it? See, you're making it seem like I just choose not to.
No,
I might not be able to get that much.
When you say stay up later, that tells me that you did have a chance.
I've made a chance.
You chose to stay up later.
Correct. Sometimes on the weekend, that's when I'll do that. But during the week, I just get less.
You just get less sleep. Okay. What time are you going to bed?
Usually around sometimes 11:30-ish.
You live a lot more than I do. Like, your days are longer
They
than
are,
mine.
yes,
like,
they are.
They really, really are.
They
like,
are.
I could not handle that. Like, I would break down within 2 or 3 days. Like, I would have to have more sleep than that. And Nikki's a high performer. Like, I'm
You wouldn't know it most of the time.
I'm a low to medium performer at best. But Nikki's like no sleep, high performance, whatever. Nikki, according to this study in Hong Kong, you
I'd
could
be dead.
You can be damaging your DNA beyond repair.
Really? Because of the lack of sleep?
They say less than 7 hours of sleep a night can lead to damage of your DNA, which means your body could just be doing all kinds of crazy stuff.
Do they say it's okay, though, to have the nap approach where if you sleep less at night, but then, because I know sometimes they say you need the sustained 7 hours.
Like it needs to go long?
Yeah, like it needs to, your body needs to get into the REM sleep, is it? And heal itself and do all its things that it needs to do. So you're supposed to take that 7 hours as much in one setting as possible.
I don't know. You know, this study does not say. But there's also that idea. Remember, we've read all that about what they call the biphasic sleep pattern, in which people, they say that there's historic evidence that people used to sleep for 3 or 4 hours, get up in the middle of the night and eat, pray, love, like whatever. And then they would go back to sleep for like 3 or 4 more hours and then get up. So like you would still sleep like 8 hours, but you would have like a middle of the night life kind of thing.
Well, then there's also those studies about the sleep bank where you think you could just keep putting in like, oh, here's an hour there, here's an hour there. It ends up, but it's not enough. Like you can't make up on the weekend what you lose during the week.
I don't know which one's right.
Yeah,
like,
I think we can all agree that we're just not sleeping enough. But
nobody knows.
No one knows.
If you really start reading about it, a lot of sleep is theory. But according to this, you need to be getting that 7 hours a night.
Who could do 7? I mean, maybe 6 if you're good, but 7 just seems like a lot.
I sleep probably 6.5. Like that seems to be about the sweet spot for me. Last night I got 7 though, and I'm exhausted.
Because if you get too much, it's even harder.
I don't know if I got too much. I feel like I'll say this right now. If you give me a few days of getting 9 to 10 hours of sleep, I'm the best me.
That's vacation you.
I'm patient. I'm kind.
Quieter.
I'm quieter. Like I can handle the rigors of day-to-day life. It's like, oh, that's not a big deal. We can handle it.
Not to lay blame on the show, but we have to get up so early for the show. There's no way to like go to bed at 7 or 8 in the evening, which is what you'd really kind of have to do to get as much sleep as some people who don't have to go to work till like 9 or 10.
Well, maybe what you and I need to do is that we just need to start. Okay. All right. Think about this. Okay. We sleep from midnight to 4 and then noon to 4.
Oh, so, okay, we could do that.
So, we just break it in half. I'm not going to say
sleep and then work and then go back to sleep.
I'm not going to say who, but I had the opportunity to be in an event with one of the single largest syndicated radio hosts in the world. Like they have millions upon millions of listeners. And we talked briefly and, me, who has approximately 5 listeners. They had me
and your mom.
They had me volunteering all afternoon.
Yeah.
So it was like I did 5 sessions, blah, blah, blah. They were just so thrilled at the privilege of having him for one session. And he was only available for one session because he had to get home to take his nap.
Some people need more sleep. I don't know what to think about that.
I'll tell you what. I wanted to scream when I heard that.
Because you're sleep deprived and it bothered you more because we can't handle it.
That's why I couldn't handle it. Yeah. So, but you know what? I was glad to see that he was getting his sleep. That was good. He's worth a lot more than me anyway.
Hey, that's not true.
That's what they communicated to me,
That's not
Nikki.
true, though.
We searched for something positive to say about the riot and finally came up with one word. Consistent. Consistently terrible, but still consistent. RadioU.
Who wants some orange vanilla Coke?
I actually think it sounds pretty good.
Yeah?
Was orange, though, one of the flavors for the tall, skinny cans of Diet Coke?
Okay, that's what I thought.
So I can't tell. And is this orange vanilla?
orange vanilla Coke and orange vanilla Coke Zero sugar.
So I don't...
Remember, it's not just Coke Zero.
I think it was just like a blood orange, and that was those tall, skinny Diet Coke cans that they tried to push for a while.
So they say this is the first new Coke flavor in more than a decade. And, of course, I'm like, flag on the play.
Hang on, what do you mean by that?
Man, there's so many flavors of Diet Coke right now, I don't even know.
Well,
but
what do they mean?
They mean, like, the main Coke brand.
So mass-produced?
Diet Coke doesn't count. But this is the first time they've launched a new Coke flavor.
Didn't they do a peach one, or like all the different ones, or was that Pepsi?
That was regional.
Okay, regional.
See, I mean,
it's like
it's the number one comedy in America that opened on a Thursday in February.
When really the number one comedy was like fifth down. Like, it's just how they phrase it. So I get what Coke is doing.
So apparently it tested very well in Canada and Australia last year, and now they're going worldwide
with the
mostly.
Coke vanilla orange flavor. I think I'm more interested because it has vanilla with it. I like when they do the combo with vanilla.
Really? Well, you just like vanilla.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Nikki's got a vanilla problem.
I do.
Remember we told that story about the lady that got pulled over for drinking the vanilla?
It's not me.
Spoilers, it was Nikki.
She was drinking vanilla extract, and I know better. Like, that's not the same.
It's like, I had a couple of rough nights with it, so I got to lay off.
That's like when you're starting to drink hairspray. That is the worry side of drinking these things. I have, like, the sugar-free vanilla syrup and the extras on, like, the freestyle.
Okay, well, this vanilla Coke, orange vanilla Coke, they say it tastes like a creamsicle.
Shivers. Get some. Let's get some.
Supposed to be available in store starting on February 25th. So it's 2 weeks from today.
I know. I was hoping you'd have a Valentine's or like for my birthday.
Oh, you know what? You're going to have the worst birthday ever.
Because I don't have any of the orange vanilla drink.
You know what? Don't even tell me about it if I can't have it.
I know.
I hate it here.
Why do we have to wait? And you know it won't be out. Like, you can't find it that day. You'll have to wait.
Yeah, I mean, the chances please don't send me out looking for it. Please don't make me go.
Why? We have to try it. We've been only eating Oreos and cereal lately. Like, we need to branch out for our food fights.
Please don't make me go. Jamie texted in and says, I've been drinking orange vanilla Coke for years in the freestyle machines. It tastes like creamsicle in a Coke.
Well,
I
Jamie,
think they owe me royalties.
They've been looking at your freestyle usage, and they were taking some of that.
Actually, they do say that the Coke freestyle machine is one of their largest sample groups out there because
pretty much
they are able to see what people drink when given all of those options. So, Jamie, you really could have had a hand
in making
selecting this flavor. Well, you know what? So there you go, Nikki. If we want to see what an orange vanilla Coke tastes like before
it comes
the
out,
launch, we could go and make one in a freestyle machine.
I want the packaging, though, too. I want the can.
I like the idea of us driving over to a freestyle machine and it's, for the show.
You want that anyways. It doesn't matter if it's for a new flavor.
Let me tell you what, Nikki, for a lot of people, they're like, wealth is having a gold toilet, or it's having my own airplane, or it's having servants to clean my house, or whatever that kid is.
It's having a gold toilet in your airplane.
Let me tell you what, true wealth is the ability to snag yourself your very own Coke freestyle machine.
Do they have a Valentine's flavor or anything?
I don't know.
Like, should we actually go?
Probably should.
Okay, just put that on the to-do list this week.
A little something for us to slide over and be like, hello, do you have any Valentine's flavors? No? Then I'll go ahead and take some anyway.
I'll just get whatever I want to drink.
I'll make it.
So the new Coke flavor, though, is February 25th.
February 25th, 2 weeks from today.
Awful, terrible, horrible, pathetic. Someone grab me a thesaurus. I'm gonna need more words to describe how bad these guys are. It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
Now, lately, I've been having a very difficult time paying attention. It happens. I get in this time of year, my brain gets weird, guys. I'll be in the middle of Nikki and I talking on the show, and all of a sudden I'm like,
and it's your own thoughts. It's your own talking.
I'm distracted. Yeah, I'm talking and I'm distracted.
You're distracted by
my own thoughts while I'm talking.
It's not like it's me, it's you.
I I offer no excuse.
But you think it gets worse during like the sad months, meaning
Absolutely.
like seasonal
yeah.
affective disorder. It's the worst when that's at its highest.
Oh, absolutely. Like it's a symptom. Like you're in a bit. But I mean, like I had a meeting the other day where I was in charge of the meeting, and we're talking, and all of a sudden I literally was just like, guys, I don't even know what we're talking about.
I just can't keep track.
My brain, it just gone, right? So I can appreciate the fact that it can be hard to get things done. And you know what? You got a good heart. You mean to.
Best intentions.
You mean to, but you just can't deliver. Well, that's why Nikki has passed me this, and I like this idea.
I like the term.
It's called time boxing. I actually do this. It's where you take someone up and dress them up as Father Time, and then you beat the crap out of them.
That's not it exactly.
So what time boxing is they say it's for your schedule. So let's say, for example, you've got a paper that's due on Friday, and you write on your list of things to do, paper due Friday. With time boxing, you actually schedule specific amounts of time in which you would work on that paper.
So you wouldn't put it on a to-do list. You put it on your calendar as a window of time, so it was scheduled.
So like from 7 to 8 p.m. on Monday, I'm going to work on that paper. From Wednesday, from 9 until 10, I'm going to work on that paper. And you would like literally box out some time in which you're going to do that. That is something that I have been doing for the last month or so on a couple of projects. Yes, where I haven't necessarily been assigning a specific amount of time, though I have done that. So like I had an online class that I was doing, and I just started scheduling days of the week where I was like, all right, I'm going to spend 45 minutes on this. And what I find funny about it is that there's something liberating about it, because a lot of times on your schedule, at least for me, it's like, oh, if I'm paying attention to this, that means I'm not paying attention to that, so I'm not getting my work done. But if I say, like, no matter what, this gets 45 minutes, I'm going to give it 45 minutes, and I'm not going to give that to anything else, I managed to get things done that have been on my schedule forever.
Well, it's called time boxing, so it has a term.
Yes.
But they said that mostly because if you don't do so well with a list for like driving you to finish up stuff, and this is what everybody tends to do, when you have a list of a lot of stuff, you work on the quick and easy first.
Right.
And then you'll never get to the big things. You'll just every day keep going to the little things to get them all done. So they said you're then not actually finishing what you're supposed to do. So especially the big things, that's what you're really especially supposed to be designating a time in a day to do.
So take some time to make some time. No, but it really, it has worked for me. I didn't call it this, and I'm not doing it exactly the way they say, but setting aside specific amounts of time, and this is the tough one, but this is what I had to do. The things you don't want to do, schedule them first. Where you're like, okay, I don't want to work on this project, but setting the time aside. And here's the thing that's really funny is, like, let's say there's something you really, really don't want to do, but if you give it an hour, at the end of an hour, it might even be done. And then you're like, oh my gosh, it's done.
See, I'm the opposite. I get more stressed if I see too much on my calendar.
Okay.
I don't like seeing like a lot to do that day, but I'll do everything on my to-do list usually that day. But I prefer seeing it in that format.
Yeah.
Every person's different.
I am finding more and more like I just don't multitask well. I do way, way better if you say to me, like, Obadiah, here's the thing you have to do. And to be clear, this is self-coaching. I have to talk to myself. Like, hey, Obadiah, you need to work on this. And you don't have to do anything else but this for 30 minutes. That is weirdly liberating to me, because it sets my mind free of everything else I'm supposed to be doing, and I can just work on that one thing.
Well, now you have a name for it.
I got to do
time boxing.
I want to do some time boxing.
Now you know what we'll mean if he says that.
The Riot spent their entire advertising and promotion budget on catering and craft services.
The junk that guy eats has finally caught up with me.
So please tell your friends. It's The Riot on RadioU.
Hang on 1 second.
Oh, big stretch.
Yeah, it's like a whole thing. Did I tell you that I was with my uncle last weekend and he did the same thing? Like, he got up and he was like, this huge stretch. And I was like, it's genetic.
It's you.
We all do that.
Do you think you learned it from watching him when you were growing up? Or is
No.
it truly something in your, like, makeup?
No, my body is just like, I need a huge stretch. I like bossing other people around. Anybody up for that? Isn't it great? Like, I don't want to be responsible for their actions, but I want to tell them what to do.
That's how you like it.
So it's just like, you there, soda person, fetch me a pitcher of the finest Mountain Dew that the house can avail itself. We like telling other people what to do. You know what we're not really good at? Telling ourselves what to do.
Oh.
That's not an easy one, right?
It's not as fun, is it?
It's not as fun. Like, you are not going to eat that candy bar. You're like, and who are you?
I can't hear you.
Who do you think you are coming in here telling me what to do? Hey, listen, other control, like bossing other people, great. But, I don't see too many dictators that are controlling themselves. Right?
That's deep.
Yeah. You know what's amazing? Do you know that God says that if you spend time with him, one of the things that you're going to pick up is some self-control? I mean, come on. How many times have you said, like, oh, I could never do that. I could never say no to those chips. I could never not do that or choose to, like, just whatever. Control of yourself. Oh, I can't control my mouth. I can't. I just say things, and that's just the way I am, and you're going to have to love me for that.
But if deep down you really did not like doing that and you wanted help with that.
And you said that you couldn't. I couldn't possibly stop doing that. God says self-control is something he can help you with. Huh. That's interesting, right? Look, if you don't have a relationship with God, and I love this too. You're like, I don't need God bossing me around. I'm not even talking about God bossing you around. I'm talking about you getting a handle on yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's what God says he can do for us if we want it. Dude, if that sounds like one of the things you're on the lookout for, there's others. There's the ability to love other people, to be patient, to be kind. I mean, God can teach you all kinds of things. What do you want to learn? Invite him in. Say, Jesus, you know what? I need that. I have no self-control. I need you to come into my life. I need you to fill me with your spirit. I need help because I kind of am out of control. It's actually not that funny. Can you help me? And you know what? God can help you. And you can get a hold of yourself. Like, this is something, I'm not just talking here. This can happen if you really want God's help with it.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh, no! I missed it! Do it again!
You can hear us live every day on the RadioU network through the RadioU app or at riot.radiou.com.
I get this dad bod by drinking a lot of beer and smoking first thing in the morning.